I got some new clothes for school this week, and I also went through my closet to get rid of the clothes I don't wear so much anymore. What would you do with them? Don't throw them in the trash. There are lots of things you can do with our old clothes. Let's go check one of them out. You could take your old clothes to Goodwill or donate them to your local thrift shop. Or you could put it in here. It's as easy as this. Everyone knows to recycle cans and bottles, but what about clothes and shoes? That's the mission of Use Again and other textile recyclers.
I'm the guy who picks up all the clothes.
Driver Noel Felipe gets his workout on the job because clothing is heavy. How many pounds of clothes do you usually pick up?
It could be a range from 5,000 to 8,000, really depending on the route and how heavy it is.
Wow, that seems like a lot, right?
It is a lot, yes.
And yet, it's just a fraction of what gets thrown away when Americans have worn out, outgrown, or tired of their clothes. Julie Fakir is Use Again's government relations manager.
85% of what we wear and what we throw away in the country goes to the landfills, so only 15% of it is recycled.
After picking up the recycled clothing at over 30 green and white bins on his daily route, Felipe's truck goes back to the warehouse for sorting.
We collect the clothes and go through a separation process from shoes and clothes. What's possibly usable, what's not usable. When we say usable, something that can be worn again.
Division manager Tobin Costin says what happens to the unwearable items is even more interesting.
Something that could be shredded and used for insulation in the house, could be used for padding in a floor, could be used also for blankets. Once we do that, we put them in cap sacks or we put them in bales, just depends on our customers and how they want them, and then we ship them out all over the world.
What we're doing is important because too much of what we as Americans wear throughout the country ends up in the landfills, taking up landfill space, and there's so much need worldwide for used clothing and textiles.
It's estimated that 70% of the world's population relies on used clothing.
In the United States, we throw out 30,000 tons a day, which works out to about 11 million tons a year.
11 million tons? Going to landfills? That all adds up. Ken Lewis, Director of Disposal Operations for Waste Management, gives us some perspective.
We're standing on a couple hundred feet of trash right now that was built up over a period of about 15 or 20 years. Overall, there's about 55 million tons of trash at this location already in place that has been placed here since the early 1980s.
None of this comes out. All of this that people have thrown out is just staying here, never being used again.
Yeah, it's designed to be here forever.
All that stuff in the landfill produces gases such as methane. It's a greenhouse gas that's bad for the planet if left to escape into the atmosphere.
The reason why we recycle textiles is because we want to make sure that we do our part with the carbon emissions throughout, not only in our local communities, but throughout the world.
Keeping just 1 pound of clothes out of the landfill has a surprising benefit.
For every pound of clothes, we're actually saving about 7 pounds of carbon emissions into the air.
In fact, there's a big cost to making jeans and other cotton garments, which isn't measured in dollars and cents.
When you talk about clothes and cotton, it utilizes more pesticides than any crop in the entire world, utilizes more water and more resources overall. So just the opportunity to recycle or repurpose clothes, that definitely saves the environment.
Usable pairs of shoes go to new owners. The others and those single shoes can also have a new life as a completely different product.
So that goes to one of our vendors, and they utilize the rubber for playgrounds, and they utilize the leather. So we try to make sure that we repurpose and reuse everything.
There is one thing you can do to help the collection process.
The only thing we ask of folks that utilize our service is to just have it in a Tide plastic bag.
Oh, I didn't put mine in a Tide plastic bag. I put it in a paper bag. I was trying to be environmentally friendly.
Oh, I forgive you this time. Next time you're in trouble though.
When clothes aren't properly bagged, they can get dirty, and it's more work for the driver. They do reuse the plastic bags whenever possible. You can find Use Again in various cities across the country, but if it's not in your town, there are alternatives.
Maybe it's something they want to go through churches or municipalities to recycle. All of it's good things as long as you're utilizing some sort of service.
Because clothes might go out of fashion, but recycling never does.
If we continue to add these clothes to the landfill, we're going to be in a situation where the carbon emissions go up, we're going to be utilizing more water, and it's just not going to be good for the resources for our planet.